We are live here on the Fowler Show YouTube channel. Welcome along, and this is a recommendation. If you remember, a few weeks ago we had on Juan Adams, or Juan Adams, what you want to call him. He's a great guy anyway, from the UFC. And at the end of the podcast, I asked that guy, I asked him, who should he recommend for me to get on the show next? He says, your boy, Eryk Anders. And I was hoping to have him on the show a bit sooner than now, but he's a busy guy. Recently had a fight, okay? And he is, of course, fights out of... It is correct. Again, please interrupt me anytime I get this wrong, but do you fight out of Birmingham, Alabama? Okay, is that right?
Yeah. Yes,
and
sir.
you are now 13 wins, 4 losses. It's your boy, Eryk Anders. Of course, he won by a split decision on Saturday. I watched the fight live on BT Sport here in the UK. So I know what's going on with you, man. And he's here to show you the bruises on his face, of course, from his big fight over the weekend. And how are you after that big fight?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. You know, it always hurts a little bit less whenever you win. So, you know, I got a dub. So, you know, it feels good.
Yeah, and you know, there was a few times where you could have ended a fight because I was watching, and every time your opponent did go to the ground after one of your vicious punches and kicks, you let him get back onto his feet. It's like, why did you let him to come back onto his feet? You could have just ended the fight, pounced on him, give him some more punches, and then end the fight. What's going on there? How come you decided to, you know, don't do anything, let him get back onto his feet? What's all about?
Man, you know, hindsight's 20/20, and going back and looking at the fight and the way it went, then that's probably what I should have done. But in my head, in my mind, during the course of the fight, you know, after watching all his fights and footage and stuff, you know, the guy is never really out of the fight, no matter how much trouble he's in or how much the fight's not going for him. You know, he has a knack for snatching up people's necks and choking them unconscious. So, you know, I kind of played a little bit safe, let him get back to the feet, where I knew that he didn't have, he wouldn't surprise me with anything, you know. So, I ended up getting the win anyways, not in the typical, Eryk Anders devastating fashion, but you know, the better the guys you fight, the harder those knockouts and finishes come. So, you know, happy to get my hand raised and on to the next.
Indeed, and on to the next fight. And but before we get to the next fight, I want to ask you this: did you, because you said in after the fight was over with another Mancunian, by the way, who interviewed us. So that's great that you have a Mancunian interviewing you after the fight, after this past Saturday, and then you've got another Mancunian live from Manchester, UK, having you on the show. So you must feel very graced to be in front of two great Mancunians now.
That's right. You know, anybody who actually cares about what I have to say and my time, you know, I'm happy to give it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to know as well, personally, I want to know this as well. Did you think, because I know you said it on Saturday and you said that you knew you're going to, might have win the fight, but in your mind during the match, did you think you would actually win if it did went to the judges?
Yeah, I did. You know, I feel like I clearly won the first round. He won the second round. And the third round, I won as well. And I think that's how the judges saw it, too.
Yeah, well, they did, because they agreed with you. You know, they did say, with a split decision, your winner, your boy, Eryk Anders. I was a bit worried, though, because I was watching the fight, and I was a bit worried about you losing the fight. I didn't want to have you on the show if you're going to lose, because we might get a lot of dislikes, a lot of hate comments coming through saying, why did you lose? But I'm so happy that you did win in the end. I was rooting for you for throughout the whole match and the whole fight, and it was great to see you in action. You've got that vicious kick, by the way. You got good athleticism, don't you, for your size?
Man, you know, I've been an athlete my whole life, and I think, you know, the more I fight, the more I compete, the more more that kind of comes out. And I know that's kind of backwards. I think it's like the younger a guy is in his career and the newer he is to the sport, the more he relies on his athleticism. But I think that's something that I've gotten with, and I need to kind of bring back and add with the skill that I picked up, and kind of throw those both in the pot and let it come out during the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's good. And so, I'm guessing you've rewatched the fight that you just mentioned there. Is there things you've picked on, like things you might have done differently after this past fight?
Like we talked about when I had him hurt in that first round, I should have gone on top and, just see what would have happened from there.
I think you would have won. I think you would have had TKO him if he did go and pounced on him. I think he was out after that punch when he pounced to the ground.
He's good at playing possum, so I wasn't sure if he was really hurt or he was just taking a dive. Another thing I think I need to work on is, adjusting during the fight. He really didn't throw much more than jabs and crosses, and I got hit a lot, probably more in this fight than I have any other fight. So, making adjustments on the fly during the round, in between rounds, is definitely something I need to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I want to go to the third round, because that was a crucial round, and because I think it was on the end of the second round is when your opponent gave you a great body kick, didn't he? And the commentators were saying that you seemed hurt when you got off, after your little break, when they did like a break in between each rounds. And when you got off your stool for the third round, they were saying that you were a bit limpy, like you felt the pain in your rib section. When you were entering the third round, was you in pain?
Man, he got me with the first one. It hurt. Then, he hit me with the second one, like, at the buzzer.
Yeah.
Like, it was like buzzer, bang. And so I was kind of relaxed when the second one hit. The second one hurt way more than the first one. And, it, like I said, it hurt. I was super uncomfortable. But by the time the third round had started, I was good to go. And just kind of had that internal clock in my head that I had to pick up the pace, be more active, and land more strikes in order to, because I feel like the fight came down to that third round.
Yes, it did, and it certainly did, and I think that made the make or break of the fight. I thought, and if you didn't do what you did in the third round, you might not have won. But I'm glad you did. And who do you want to face next? Who do you want to fight next? If you got any challengers in the lineup, or are you this guy who wants to face everyone and everybody?
Man, I'm a guy who wants to face any and anyone. So, I got a bit of a medical suspension, and I had to go see a doctor, get a CT scan today. So we'll see what they say, how healthy I am. And if I'm good to go, then, probably get one more in before the end of the year. If not, then I'll see y'all in 2020.
Well, we do hope that the CT scan does come back clear. And as we'll see you one more fight in 2019 to see who you can TKO next. Maybe, hopefully, in less than 74 seconds, of course, or whatever it was, 74 something, wasn't it? You got to beat that record, do like a 9-second TKO or something. You need.
I need that. Because if you knock somebody out in 9 seconds, chances of you taking home an extra $50K are great. So
yeah,
I'm down for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the money, If you don't get the win, then you lose a lot of money, I'm guessing, as well, don't you?
Half my check.
Yeah, not good. So it's all about the wins, and you're winning. I can't wait to see you with like 25 wins and 4 losses, hopefully in the future. That'd be great. And
that's the case, and I'm a champ.
Yeah. We want you to be a champ. I think you are deserving of the champ, and I think you are proving to everybody why you are your boy, kind of thing. We all know what you stand for, and it's great. It's great to see what you're doing. And what do you think about other UFC athletes now, hanging up their boots and going to other territories, like, invading other companies? Do you know what I mean by that?
No, what do you mean?
I
Like
mean,
going to work for Bellator and stuff like that.
going to Bellator, going into other what's the word, in other sports. So like maybe hanging up their boots in the UFC, but then invading, I don't know, WWE for example. A bit
Man,
like
I think it's great, man. I think it's great. Like Cain Velasquez, um, I think that's great for it to have to, let fighting open up other avenues for you to pursue after you're done fighting, because you can't do this forever, man. The shelf life and the window for your to compete at a high level in the sport is very short. So I think it's great the guys that are letting it open up other avenues like commentary, sitting behind the desk, coaching, WWE, acting. You see Francis Ngannou's in the next, Fast and the Furious movie. So I think it's great the guys that are taking advantage of their star power that they create through fighting into what they're going to do after fighting.
Yeah, it is quite good, and but I mean, they some of them don't really know what they're doing. Going in, not into acting, but I mean like going into other things they've never done in their lives. They've done real fighting, but then going into doing some other project that they've never done before. It's like, where did they get the experience?
On the job training, man. Before I started fighting, I have JV level experience. I haven't wrestled past my freshman year of high school, and I played football, so it doesn't have anything to do with fighting. But I picked it up relatively quickly, and I'm quite successful at it. Navy guys have other talents that that they can use as well.
True. I'm not going to disagree with that. And talking about football, again, this is a freelance show. We don't really have any scripts to go off really. What did you play when you played football? What was your position?
I was a outside linebacker. And,
really? Okay.
I know, football is not too big, and American football is not too big in Europe, I don't think. But I'm like a defender. I'm one of the guys who tackle the guy with the ball and try to keep him out the end zone.
Yeah. Doesn't always work though, and I think
that's a hard job.
And I think you're wrong about it's not as big in Europe. I think it's very big here in the UK. We have the London Games. We had the Raiders,
the Buccaneers and Panthers, right?
That's right. Before that, the greatest team in American football, the Oakland Raiders, who will be known as the Vegas Raiders next year, played here on the first weekend of October, and it was a great win. I loved that game here in London at the, of course, the worst stadium to play it in, of course, Tottenham, Spurs. They could have played it in a better stadium than that. But apart from that...
is that Manchester's stadium?
Yeah, Manchester United is the best stadium in the world. I'm hoping one day they can bring the NFL to Manchester United's football ground, Old Trafford, where it's a real sport then. But right now it's in Tottenham, where they don't really win anything, Tottenham. So it's like, oh, really? But yeah. What team do you support? Football team in America. Which American football team do you like?
Man, to be honest, I really don't have a team. I just watched. I played college football, so a lot of the guys that I played with are still playing in the NFL. So I just tune in and watch those guys. And
that's cool. And come on, name us some of them guys. Come on, name us some. Who is still playing from your time when you played college?
Mark Ingram's killing it. Kareem Jackson's killing it. Who else in my time? There have been a lot of guys, that are killing the game and having successful NFL careers long past college. So, man, if you play for Coach Saban, you're gonna get a shot in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad that even though unfortunately you didn't make it into the NFL, but you found a second home for yourself. Your UFC, mixing it up there. And how many of them guys reached out to you since Saturday to say congrats on your win, or are you still waiting for them to get in contact with you?
Nah. When you play college football with some of these guys, it really is a family atmosphere. So whenever I get ready to compete, man, guys always hit me up. Tell me congratulations or good luck or all that other good stuff. So, man, they're definitely watching, and still keep in contact with those guys, and it's just awesome to that friendship and stuff is stretched, over probably 10, 15 years now. So it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, and I'm glad that everyone stays in family in touch with everybody. And I know you have your own college football team, of course, but of course, the best college football team, which is very not really heard of much of nowadays, but the Nevada Wolfpack, they're a good team, had a great start this season in the college football. You're probably thinking, what is this guy even talking about? That's the worst team ever. But yeah, Nevada Wolfpack is the way to go.
Man, if it's not the Crimson Tide, then you're wrong, man.
What about LSU then?
LSU's cool. I like LSU. I'm really looking forward to that LSU Alabama game here in a few weeks.
Yeah. That's will be epic. That'll be an epic game. And again, for our UK listeners and viewers, you can watch that on BT Sports, ESPN, over here in the UK. If they show that game, of course. They do show a lot of college football on a Saturday afternoon on BT Sports. And we are hoping to see you back in the UK. See you in the UK, hopefully. When the UFC comes back again, hopefully you'll be booked on the card to come over here. Be cool to see your boy in person.
I would love to, man. I tried to come last time they went over there, but it just didn't work out like that. So hopefully I get to go the next go around.
Yeah. So does Dana White book your matches as well as everyone else, or is there a different person who booked your matches for the cards?
Yeah, it's Mick Maynard books my matches for the fights.
Oh, okay. Well, we hope he will book you, because a lot of UK people saw your first fight this past Saturday probably, and thought, wow, this guy has got skills, and we want to see more of him. And even in person, be fantastic.
That'd be great. I'll come if they book me. So maybe shoot a tweet to the UFC. They know what's up.
Well, believe me, I have, and I've not got an answer just yet. So I don't know who manages the UFC accounts, but they're not doing a very good job, because they don't, obviously they don't know the most passionate fans in the world. Of course, the UK's. That's the only thing me and the UK people can agree on, unless you're in Manchester, and then we all agree on the same thing. But yeah, you got to meet the most passionate fans in the world. Better than USA, better than San Antonio or Birmingham, when you all say it wrong when you come over here. Over here it's pronounced as Birmingham, not Birmingham. To the Americans. Yeah, it's called Birmingham, not Birmingham, like America.
I live in Birmingham, Alabama.
There we go. I need to teach the Americans to say Birmingham the correct way, because Birmingham, it sounds more exciting when you say Birmingham, but it's not the right
way. Well, you got to add that southern twang to it, so it's Birmingham.
Yeah, but when you come over here in the UK, the Americans still call it Birmingham, UK, but it's not. Just Birmingham. Very boring place, Birmingham. But yeah, you go.
Never been.
Yeah. Well, you have to come. Just come for a trip. Just do a tour of the UK.
Will do.
What projects do you do outside of fighting then? When you're not fighting, what else do you have to do?
Eating. That's about it, man. Yeah, eating and hanging out with the family. I don't get to do a whole lot of that because I'm always training and whatnot. Yeah. But I'll probably take the next week or so off from training in the gym. So I'll just be at home, play soccer, dad, and take the kids to and from practice. And just hang out with the fam, the wife and kids.
Yeah, and that's why this podcast was late, because I rang you at the top of this hour, and you said, "Bring me back. I'll ring you back in about 10 minutes or so. I'm picking up your children." So that's why this is a bit delayed, but we're here anyway, and that's the main thing. And so what type of food do you like then when you're preparing to fight, or maybe when you're not? What do you like to eat?
Man, I'm a junk food junkie, man. I like burgers, pizza, soda, popcorn. Me and my wife just went to the movies, and she's getting ready for a fitness competition in November. So, I had me a whole bag of popcorn to myself, some gummy bears, and, nice. I'm on a strict no vegetable diet right now. So, I got to follow the doctor's orders,
Yeah, that is quite interesting because usually a doctor doesn't say, eat healthy stuff, don't eat any junk food while training. It's very surprising.
I'm my own doctor.
Yeah, it's very surprising.
I'm my own doctor.
Yeah, indeed. And well, it's working for you so far, so keep at it. It's working so far for you. How long have you been doing that for then? Since you began, or for the past few months?
Man, I've always had a sweet tooth. I've always liked the junk food. So whenever I get ready for a fight, I got to cut it all out. And after the fight, that's all I really want to eat for a little bit until I hate myself, and then I'll get back on a regimented diet.
We are getting a comment in from our YouTube chat room. Someone wants to know Nick Saban's stories.
Oh, man, what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room, man. I can't reveal any of that good stuff.
Yeah, obviously there's rumors going on. Someone's trying to leak something out the locker room there, aren't they? Someone's trying to leak something out the locker room, trying to get you and Nick Saban into some trouble.
If that does happen, it won't be coming from me, that's for sure.
Yeah, or me either. Cause I have no connection to the UFC. Yeah. I'm a freelancer. But let's talk about then. There's got to be someone who you want to fight and to prove against, isn't there?
I mean, I don't have anything to prove, man. Everybody knows, how I fight, my style of fighting, and how I like to fight and whatnot. So. Man, whoever they give me, whoever they sign me up, whoever they ask me to fight, the answer is always yes, and we'll get in there and we'll do it.
Yeah. Oh my word. Let's talk about as well. Then what time are we on here? Let's see. 12 minutes into the podcast. I'm just seeing how long we've been going for. Because I have a bit of a routine where I give people the sponsors and such. Let's talk about where can my listeners find you on social media. For our YouTube viewers, they can see your social media links, but for our listeners who are listening to us tomorrow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, where can they find you on social media? You got a good following on Instagram, haven't you? 40,000 followers on Instagram. Very well done to you.
Hey, thank you. You guys can follow me Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Eryk Anders, ERYKANDERS.
Indeed. Well, on Facebook, it is Eryk Anders MMA as you go down there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I do my research before coming on it. It's surprising how many guests don't even know their own Facebooks, but because most people don't even use Facebook that often anymore. They use more Twitter and Instagram because I think it's more useful, more social useful, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Facebook, so I really rock with the. If you shoot me a message on there, I'll answer. Don't get it wrong, but I'm more of a Instagram and Twitter guy myself.
Yeah, don't blame you. Most people are nowadays. Facebook is as it trends on Twitter yesterday. # delete Facebook is what people should do nowadays, don't they? # delete Facebook. Get rid of it. Don't use Twitter only. Get rid of Instagram as well. People are saying. So do you agree with that statement? Since it's run by the same people who run Facebook.
Well, there's more Facebook users than any other social media platform, so good luck with that.
True that, but we will see, won't we? But anyway, let's talk about then. So of course, as we said before, UFC fighters usually have around to about 40-year-old age before they decide to hang up their boots, hang up the ring, kind of thing, and go into other endeavors. What do you want to do when you decide to hang up your boots?
Man, in all honesty, man, I hope that me and my wife will have invested the money that we make between me fighting and her business, that I never have to do anything again. But I think I'd like the commentating thing, to sit behind the desk, analyze fights, and kind of like what Michael Bisping does right now.
Yeah, better Mancunian. And I must say to you, that must be the fun job, because then you get to say whatever you like about a fighter, because they will never find out what you say, because that's what you find out, kind of thing. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I mean, you can
they'll find out.
You can be as
when
critical
they watch
as you
the
want.
replay, they'll hear it.
True, but I mean, after the fact, they can't come and find you. They can't come and say, "Hey,
Sure,
I'm going to beat you up now for what you said."
Why not?
Because because we don't see him fight every single event, so it'll be a few months before they can get your hands on you again.
I think that the commentators, especially the guys that have fought previously, are pretty. They're not rude. They don't criticize too much. They give honest opinions, but they're not going to go out there and say like this guy sucks or anything like that. So
no, I know. I'm just saying
they don't say anything like that'll make you want to beat them up. I'll put it that way.
But you could say whatever you like, though. I'm sure Joe Rogan and Michael Bisping will teach you if you went into that way.
Man, it would be great to kind of be mentored in something like that.
Yeah.
With guys like that, so if they want to put me on game, I'm down.
That's good. Now after Michael Bisping, interviewed you this past Saturday, what word did you exchange with him? Because he was trying to leave, and you were trying to keep him in the cage a bit longer. What was all that about?
Man, I just wanted to tell him that he was already like one of my favorite fighters. He's witty, and I think he's super funny, as well as his fighting style and the way he fights and whatnot.
Yeah.
But after I found out that he fought the last 4 years of his career with one eye, that just put him at the top for me. And won a belt with one eye. So that just kind of shows you the level that he was fighting at. So I was just telling him that he was my favorite fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to know as well, Juan Adams, you know who he is.
Yep.
What's your relationship with him, and why do you think he recommended you to come on this show?
Oh, that's my dog, man. I met him several years ago when I was getting ready for an LFA fight in Houston. I think maybe my title fight.
Nice.
When I won the belt. And, linked up with him, trained at his gym, and, just got some work with him. And, we've been cool ever since. And a few years later, he made it to, a few months after that, I made it to the UFC. Then a few years later, he got on that Contender Series, and then he made it to the UFC himself. So it was cool to kind of see that thing come full circle.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It means you've got someone who you kind of grew up with in the same company as you, which is quite good. It means if you're ever on the same card as him, you can have a good old chat beforehand as well, and at least you know somebody there as well before, of course, after you met other people. But at least you know someone from years ago.
I've never been on the same card as him, but
yet. Never say never.
My teammate Walt Harris has been on 2 cards with him, so
yeah.
I've been back there seeing him warm up and stuff. I was in Walt's corner and in Ottawa, so I think he fought Aljan Bullard, whatever his name is, and then they fought again in San Antonio when he fought Greg Hardy.
Yeah, good fights. They were good fights, and. We can't wait to see when he fights again. And he was a cool guy when he came on, and I like yourself, because when I think of these UFC fights, I think they're going to be very angry, very aggressive people when they come on here. But that's just for the ring. That's just for the cage, isn't it?
I think they get it all out in the gym and training and stuff. Most of the guys and women that do this are usually pretty humble and. Pretty relaxed and calm.
Yeah, they are, and you are a very calm guy. And how do you keep calm then? After you just win a fight or whatever happens after the fight, how do you get to being an angry, aggressive guy to going back to nice and calm, nice and relaxed? What do you do after the fight?
I think that's just my nature, man.
Just your nature.
I just think that I'm a calm and just nothing ever kind of ruffles my feathers, and just kind of flow through life kind of personality,
Yeah, I get you. It's good. It's a good attitude. And when it's announced who you're fighting next, and do you look at the tapes of who they faced last and other times as well to see what you're up against and see if there's any weaknesses you can see from the tapes, or how do you prepare for a fight without actually giving away any actual leaks?
Yeah, I watch film to see how my opponent moves and the tendencies and stuff that they like to do and whatnot. And then, man, I stay in the gym. I really don't do fight camps. So, I stay in the gym. I'm always ready. And, if I have a full, 8 weeks to get ready for a fight, I just kind of work on me and sharpen my tools and not really concern myself with what they got going on.
Yeah, yeah. Now, of course, we mentioned before, but I want to know your prediction for this. You mentioned Cain Velasquez earlier on. He's fighting Brock Lesnar apparently soon at Crown Jewel. Will you be tuning in to see Cain Velasquez?
Man, probably not, man. I'm not a huge, WWE fan. My kids are, though. My kids love all the combat sports and stuff. So,
Yeah.
If they got it up on the TV, then, I'll probably sit down and watch it.
Yeah. Well, he won't win it. That's one thing for certain. He's not going to
Yeah, I
win.
already beat him in real life, so it's all good.
Yeah, he beat him in real life. Yeah, in the real sport, which is a dominant sport, of course. And, of course, he won then, but he ain't going to win in Brock Lesnar's territory. His domination, where he's been dominating for the past, God knows, 15 years now. So there's no chance he's going to win that way. But maybe if they had a real cage fight again, perhaps he might, if it's a real fight. But in this case, Cain Velasquez, no.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. So, it's all scripted. So,
Yes.
maybe they give him a surprise win. I don't know.
I don't think so. I very much doubt that. But of course, acting as well. Ronda Rousey, is doing a lot of acting nowadays. She's on their 911, good old show on Fox. Have you been offered any acting or anything like that yet? Or any adverts or?
Man, Birmingham
Yeah.
is a growing place where they shoot movies because of all the tax breaks and stuff. So
Really?
they actually came here and shot a movie called Embattled with Steven Dorff.
Wow.
When I made a couple cameo appearances in that. So, man, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. I wouldn't consider myself an actor, but, I got a little experience in front of the camera.
Cool. Well, we hope to see you in another movie soon with maybe a bit more outside of Birmingham, a bit more across the seas, like your pal going into Fast and Furious next year with the likes of Dwayne Johnson, John Cena. I think Vince Diesel's in it as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't kept up with the Fast and Furious franchise since the second one.
I know.
They're on 15 right now, so we'll see.
God, I don't know how long they can keep making these Fast and Furious. I thought we ended ages ago. But
they ain't been caught yet, so.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? But there we go. And my last question to you, because I can tell you're quite tired now. You must have a busy day today.
Yeah, man, I'm tired, man. I've been running around running errands and stuff, so.
Yeah, almost 4 p.m. your time. 9 p.m. it's here. 9:51 p.m. here in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Manchester, the greatest city in the world. Who would you recommend then for me to contact next from the UFC then? We've had on Mike the Truth Jackson, Juan Adams, and yourself now. Who do you think I have to get in contact with next?
Man, Walt Harris would be a good one. He's a good, colorful, bubbly personality that, attracts a lot of fans. So I think he'd be a good one for you to have on.
Oh, okay, we'll do, and I'm guessing, I'm hoping so. He might have his DMs open on Twitter or something that I can get in contact with him.
For sure, Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, Instagram, yeah. I for some reason I just don't like Instagram. It's just I don't know. I just don't get it. It's so boring, Instagram. I don't know how people.
I think that's the point. You don't have to read anything. You can just look at pictures and kitten memes all day.
Kitty memes. Is that what you look at all day when you're relaxing?
Nah, not kitten memes. I look at. I like it when people are doing stuff that they shouldn't do or high risk behavior and it doesn't work out for them. Like guys doing parkour and hurt themselves or street fights and stuff like that. That's what I like to watch.
Right. Fair enough. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the show for 34 minutes, almost 35 minutes here on the Fowler Show, here on our YouTube channel. Stay right there if you can, without falling asleep. I know you're very tired. Again, this is going to go up tomorrow. If you're listening live on YouTube, it's going to go up tomorrow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's took me 10 months for me to get up to date, because it took me 10 months after my huge backlog of interviews where it used to be a month or even 2 months before they came out. We've got that down to 2 weeks, then to a week, and now we're actually up to date. This is coming out tomorrow on Apple and Spotify for the first time ever. I've done an interview at the next day, brilliantly for me. So it's congratulations for me. And then on Friday, we're going to have on somebody of scripted sport. So tune in for that one on Apple and Spotify exclusively. And then next Monday as well, we've got a great owner coming on the Fowler Show. Again, that's exclusively only on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find me on Twitter. That's the only place you can find me on social media. Is _Edward Fowler _ because that's the place where I can communicate with my good celeb friends like yourself, Eryk Anders as well. I can communicate with you on good old Twitter, the best platform in the world for your celebs. I got celebs before me as well, from news anchors to some companies as well. So it's great. Even some CEOs who I've never even heard of follow me on Twitter.
Hey, you the man now.
I am for getting CEOs. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't know what CEOs want to do with me, but yeah, there we go. But yeah, there we go. And until the next episode drops on Apple or Spotify, then enjoy the rest of your morning, night, evening, or afternoon. It's been a pleasure having on Eryk Anders, and will you come back on again?
Well, whenever you ask me.
Great to hear. You hear that now? It's official. You can't back out of it now. It's truth, and it is right here live on YouTube.com. Until the next live edition of our YouTube channel. Goodbye for now.
Hey, appreciate you having me.